Hello, welcome back everyone. This is Seewing Yi, and today's headline article video I'm going to share with you is the Airbnb bust. Will it crash the real estate market? We will find out in a few minutes. All right. So by the way, if you see value of this presentation, please share and please click the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right. I'm trying to find more subscribers for my very good educational content video channel. All right. So partial answer is Airbnb bust is fake news. That's right. That's a lot of things going on. Let me tell you one is fake news. Have you seen all the YouTube channels around real estate? All the crash porn bros, crash borns. Once recently they found out that there are no real estate crash, they are pivoting into this new narrative that Airbnb is crashing all over the place. The crash bros, it appears they're running out of subscriptions, they're running out of clickbait news because smart consumers and investors out there, they they come to the realization that there are no housing crash due to the extreme historic low supply of housing inventory and the pent up demand are still carrying momentum in light of the mortgage rate hovering around 7% as we speak on today, the 4th of July, 2023. So once again, that crash bros are pivoting. They need to continue to feed the appetite of the or the very what you call it, they are feeding the appetite to those poor souls out there that don't know any better. And as a result, by wanting more clickbait, they are monetizing their channel. They are creating Airbnb plus or crash bros. Okay. Instead of housing crash bros, they are reinventing their business model, those crash bros, into Airbnb crash bros, for lack of better words. At the end of the day, it's capitalism at work. What I mean by that is all once this negative news channels and negative news sales, we know that that's the narrative. People twist everything. And once they rezone the high subscription deals they're receiving from their channel, they get paid commercials and product they're selling as a result of this high subscription model. And YouTube, make money targeting this crash porn world. Short-term rental and Airbnb in general, or even other platforms, are a huge asset class. Short-term rentals are spreading across all 50 states. They comprise of all housing types: single-family home, duplex, mansions, multi-units, and beach houses, and small little igloos, whatever. Just Airbnb and short-term rentals comes in all different sizes and forms and shapes. And just there's no such thing as a national resale market. There's no such thing as short-term rental slash Airbnb national market. It's simply not. It's not like that. Airbnb rentals, short-term rentals are local. Is in fact it is hyper local with location. If you look at all the 50 states, there are very successful Airbnb operations that have been run for decades. In rural areas in Montana, along the Appalachian trails, the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York, or in the coastal North and South Carolina, those coastal towns and along the beach area. Then there are in California, all those beach Airbnbs located on Newport Beach and Laguna Beach, whatever. And there's urban, you have Airbnb in close to the urban areas of LA or San Francisco, where I live. or in whatever major cities in urban areas. And there are, again, coastal areas like in Florida, Airbnb has been successful for decades, and people are still doing well. Those multi-billion dollar, the duplex, triplex, the homes along the beach of Miami or along the Gulf Coast, Sarasota, Tampa, and St. Petersburg Beach, St. Pete's Beach, and in Cape Coral along the beach area, and on the Atlantic coast of Florida, you have beaches up and down the Atlantic coast that have been doing very well using this model. And I can so every in New York City, and there's so many different scenarios, just like national was a market. These are localized area. Now it's just that yes, there are Airbnb corrections in certain markets. Yes, that's probably true. For example, some of the Airbnb owners, they buy property during COVID, thinking because of the COVID lockdown, people want to rent Airbnbs everywhere in the country. Those late players into the game that purchase Airbnb for the first time, not doing sufficient research and due diligence, not doing the numbers in terms of vacancy, in terms of marketing, in terms of how to set up the Airbnb business. It's a hospitality business. Not everybody, not every mom and pop people are, are cut out to be in the hospitality business. And so they enter the space, buy the property for $500,000 or $1 million. Perhaps if they bought it back in 2021, yes, they got a very good loan, perhaps 3% mortgage rate, and they're happy at that time, thinking they could make a killing short term, and not knowing it's their business. So a lot of the newbies enter the Airbnb short term rental space across the nation. Some percentage of them are going through their crash and burn, because at the time they enter this unique asset class space, they have FOMO, fear of missing out. So therefore, they are following, and they are followers. The new players in the Airbnb ownership game, they are followers. They are not leaders. They think they just got greedy, not knowing how to run the operation. Airbnb is just like a business. You have to be very active. It's not like long-term rental space that I'm involved when is almost very passive. You have a 1 year annual lease, a long-term rental, single family home, whatever. And then I let my property managers to manage my property. So I spend virtually no time almost managing my so-called long-term rental business portfolio, if you will, myself and hundreds of my investors that I guide and coach along in the past 20 years. So that happens to be my business model. So there are so many different asset class in the industry, in the countries. At the end of the day, because everybody love a naked headline, everybody's jumping into the bandwagon. Everybody jumping into the Airbnb bus bandwagon, because there are some areas of the U.S., a very small pockets of the U.S., where there are some issues with the Airbnb ownership, right? Or maybe the local regulation of a certain neighborhood, they decide to disallow Airbnbs, and those Airbnb owners, they don't know how to pivot. They don't have an exit strategy. If there are many jurisdictions in the U.S., they're fighting against short-term rentals, and they put in laws and regulations, and we see it all the time. I consistently see this kind of information whereby we are no longer allow Airbnbs. And so not only that, as a result of the remote work, a lot of companies lately are requiring their workers to go back to the office. So the advent of during the COVID lockdown, a lot of people have done Airbnb. So now people are slowly trickling back to the office. So a lot of the Airbnb in certain markets, they're losing customers. Their phones are vacant because again, they entering this space, not understanding the full component. What does it take to run a successful Airbnb? To them, it's like a short-term lottery, thinking they can make tons of money just because they're collecting more rent on a daily basis, as opposed to long-term rentals. And they didn't factor the vacancy things. They didn't factor the maintenance and costs and all the issues associated with running a hospitality Airbnb business. They bit off more they can choose. And we have seen some trickle effect of some of these owners that are under stress. And then in some small research methodology like AirDNA, they may have some data that indicates certain markets are where Airbnb owners are losing their shirt, if you will. With that said, then the blind leading the blind, because this is such a exciting news, this kind of news. People love to see and hear the narrative of a housing crash because it's exciting. I don't know why. It's just a psychological effect. So again, all the news media, not just the crash shows out there, YouTube channels, like national news media, they put out these news headlines about Airbnb go bust. Then the wildfire spread, this kind of word spread to all the different kind of social media, national news media, CNBC, CBS, local channels, YouTube videos, TikTok, and then social medias of all types and Instagram. People just creating this kind of buzz. So again, the YouTube and other news media, they have the obligation to report negative news. And right now, since the housing crash narrative has been subsiding so far, they want to create another media type, another negative headline. All these news media and YouTube, they want to sell their subscription. They want more views. They want more click-based information. So they create this negative headline about Airbnb bust, but they have very little content. They have no data to back up what they're saying. Yes, in certain markets in the US, look, okay, somebody might tell me, oh, see, wait, there's some other kind of article recently that are showing some conclusive data that a lot of Airbnb are going bust. Yeah, you have to look at the article itself. Yet beyond the negative headline of this recent Airbnb bust article, yeah, look deep into the headline. Sometimes the headline itself does not give you too much information. They deliberately, these article headlines, deliberately not disclose the reasoning behind their headline. So when a consumer try to look at the entire article, they can't find any corroborating data that justify the negative headlines. That's how it is. That's news media prey into the fear and excitement of people. People want to gravitate toward negative news because it don't justify a regular person's existence, because people need a boring life, or people, they got no hope or whatever, or some potential buyers, they miss out on their real estate boom a couple of years ago, and they're pissed off at the people that made it, the people that took action, whereby they sat on the sideline. Now they regret it, they didn't buy, and now the housing prices have increased so much and the mortgage rate has increased so much, they could not afford to buy a house. So these kind of people, they retreat to the negative headlines. They join this YouTubers, these crash bros out there, and so they share the frustration with the rest of the community of subscribers that are similar to them in this community space, and then they just vent out their frustration and just free out their negativity among their core groups. It's really sad. People are people so gullible. They fall into this narrative, and they join and they network among people of their peers that are being conditioned and being brainwashed by this negative news, and people ultimately believe in this kind of narrative. It's just very sad. I don't know what else to say. Again, the COVID has affected in some part, a small part, Yes, there are some owner of those Airbnb that they people that purchased the properties maybe even a year ago. They use a very high risk loans to finance the purchase of the Airbnb a year ago, 9 months ago, and now their investments are being backfired. Again, you can choose our data you want because I am confident about the data that I have. My recap is there's no Airbnb bust, just like there's no national real estate market. There's no such thing as an Airbnb national market. So you need to buckle your seatbelt. Now we see the rise of the quote Airbnb crash flows. We're beginning to see this new wave of Airbnb crash flows. And to me, this is fake news. Again, the localized Airbnb crash is happening to a very limited extent. Could be, but from what I heard just recently, there's some pockets of Phoenix and Austin or, or, or Boise or somewhere, there is some element of Airbnb stress out there. Only time will tell. I need to see authentic data coming from this. I have not seen so far. I've seen bits and pieces. People, a lot of media, they manipulate data. They create a different narrative. Even the data itself does not support the narrative. So people, the professional YouTubers out there, professional, even the main supposedly credible news media, they twist everything for their purpose. They manipulate whatever data out there about Airbnb stress and they put an article together, they put a headline together, then people watch it, see it, and they get more subscription. Any business organization in the national news media, when they get more subscribers, they will make more money. So anybody else out there, people, my subscribers, people coming to my channel, you need to share authentic, realistic, and you need to get well informed, not the overhype. It's just doom and gloom. The world coming to an end, the worst melting scenario is not healthy. It's not healthy to follow this type of information. It'll affect you. You could get programmed. It's like a robot. We are being conditioned. Avoid this doom and gloom, melting doom out there, and you will see more and more Airbnb crash flows out there. They can continue to report these headlines. So avoid clicking to this. They focus on your personal financial goals. Whatever your risk goals are, focus on your buy box, right? And find some way. If you're a newbie with investors, yeah, you need to do more research. Just doing proper research using credible resources, not this fake news, fake media. All right. So I think that's all I have to say for the time being. I may come back with a follow-up video as I learn more about this new narrative that will be put out there in the national news media. But right now, this is fake news. There's no such thing as Airbnb bust. They have limited small pockets of stress. Yes, there's no doubt about that. For people to say that entire hundreds of thousands of Airbnb rentals all are going to crash for it is just anybody thinking like this is irrational and illogical. It just doesn't happen like this. That's all I have to say. If you see value in this presentation, please smash the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I provide so much very time-sensitive, urgent housing data information. So you guys out there can make an informed decision. And I also talk about real estate investing as part of my business model. So with that in mind, quickly visit my website below if you have not already done so, and log in your email into our subscription, become a free real estate member of our investment club organization. Wow, we have a community of several thousand free members on a weekly basis. we provide into your email inbox great free information about real estate investing, all aspects of real estate, and what have you. And we help mom and pop investors all across the country to invest in out of state properties, turnkey, low cost, cash flow, entry level type homes in very stable, affordable markets with property management and everything to help you to create real estate wealth. Thank you so much. This is Seewing. Thanks for listening. I will see you on the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.